Guys, welcome back to Gardening with Creations by DX & Co. Today I want to show you how the romaine lettuce is doing, and I'm going to actually plant it in the ground in the greenhouse today. So the reason for that, I'm going to show you here why I'm doing it so early. Remember, I just released that romaine lettuce cutting off the bottom and putting into some water. I'm going to show you exactly why I'm going to plant it in the ground today instead of waiting a little bit longer. So bear with me, guys. Let's get started. So it's still 45 outside, get a little bit cold, but I brought all the plants out to the greenhouse to get some sunlight today. I'm going to do a video on what I'm going to do with these ones here in a little bit, so look for more to come on that one. But I got all the plants kind of out in the greenhouse, and when I was bringing out this particular tray here, move this out of the way, this is a brand new start of romaine lettuce that I cut from a store cutting, and as well as a celery that is just starting to germinate there. So the celery I'm going to leave in this water. I'll change the water, but I'm going to leave in here. But we're going to actually plant this romaine head or romaine cutting today because you can see it's starting to brown. I lost the celery to this when it started to brown like that, so I want to get this one in the ground, and it will root in the ground itself. So let me show you where we're going to put it today. So this is kind of my patch of lettuces, if you will. This is all my arugula that I'm growing in the greenhouse, and then that catnip, I'm going to try to propagate that. I'll do a video on that as well. It's in the mint family, and we're going to be putting that in another area outside. But you can see here, this is a head of iceberg lettuce that I actually clipped, and it rooted. It actually gained a root on the bottom there, so I planted it there. And you can see it kind of doesn't look like it's doing much, but lettuces like a lot of water, so I've been putting a lot of water on it. It's only a couple of days old, but nothing's really dying, so that's a positive side. So I'm expecting to see some growth on that. So I'm going to get this particular piece of romaine right in here. This is some butter crunch lettuce. As you can see, we've already been cutting from it, and it's growing back in nicely. So it's a type of butter crunch lettuce that we like to cut and come again. This particular one I'm trying to grow out to see if I can get it to seed, but the rest of them we're propagating, or we're utilizing as it goes along. So I'm going to get some more seeds filled in here for that, but I kind of want to make this kind of a different variety of lettuce patch. I also am thinking about going to get like a mixed salad type of lettuce seeds that I might plant in here. But the reason this is looking so sparse is because you may have remembered I did a video on volunteer plants. These are the volunteer tomatoes that I'm still picking out as they pop up. So believe it or not, I did actually pull a lot of those out and replant them. We had so many of them. But I do want to see, there was a lot of feedback on whether or not they would do well as volunteers. So you can see I just picked out a couple more, and that they wouldn't fruit very well. So with that in mind, as you guys probably already noticed, I like to experiment on this channel. So I did actually repot some of those volunteers. Let me show you in particular. Here we go. All of these ones are those volunteers that are coming up. Now they're very small right now because I repotted them probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, and I also didn't give them a lot of dirt because I wasn't looking to grow these out. I was looking to give them away, but I am going to keep a couple for myself just to see how they actually do as far as those volunteers. And they were bunched up so thickly that this is how they were in the greenhouse. So I repotted them just the way they were to see how they would do. It's kind of like a layer of grass. It's kind of neat. Trust me, I know they're not getting enough nutrients. They're not going to grow, so on and so forth. I probably won't keep them this way, but I did want to get them in the ground so I could keep them and give them away if I wanted to. So these are still able to be transplanted and separated and utilized. I have lots of neighbors who are starting gardens this year, so look into that. But let's get back to the purpose of this video. Let me get that planted and show you what I'm doing. So as I was saying, in particular, I'm going to put that lettuce here. The problem is I also got some additional volunteers this year I wasn't expecting. This particular area last season was actually melons. The honeydew and cantaloupe kind of mixed together, unfortunately. Way too small of an area for that. I actually veined up and I had melons growing. These are actually seeds from a cantaloupe, I believe. And so they kind of spread themselves out and got buried in this area. So you can see when the weather turned right, they sprouted out. Now it's getting cold again here overnights, and so this one looks like it broke off and looks like it's not doing very well. So I'm going to take this one out either way. These will get moved as they get a little bit bigger. I'm letting it grow up a little bit, but as it gets bigger, I'll put it out in the exterior garden here. So maybe we can get some cantaloupe going. So like I said, everybody says volunteers don't fruit very well. So here's our chance this year to experiment, and I'll take you guys along for that journey. And I already showed you guys the start of the volunteers that I got, and we'll do a kind of side-by-side comparison. But I mean, this is crazy, the root system that I got going in here. I don't know what these are, unfortunately. You can see all these tiny roots. They could be volunteer tomatoes, they could be volunteer from the cantaloupe, but that's okay. Either way, they could also finally be my lettuce seeds that I planted here germinating, but that's okay. We're gonna plant some more in a little bit, and they very well could just be weeds. And then we got some nice worms in here, very healthy. So anyways, let me get this planted here and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm not burying the head of that lettuce. The growth actually comes from the center when it gets really leafy, and you can utilize it as a cut and come again, or you can utilize it to go to seed, which is perfectly fine, because then I can have seeds for romaine next year as well as some iceberg. So I've got iceberg, romaine, and then this butter crunch variety. So this would make a great addition to a salad, along with my beautiful arugula that's becoming overgrown because it's growing faster than I can eat it. Let me be honest with you guys. If you're gonna grow arugula, don't do 3 rows like I did. Go with a row. You know, you can always plant more. It's a fast growing crop. So yeah, try a row. Don't go as crazy as I did. I've offered it to the neighbors to come and use, so maybe they'll utilize some of it. But we've done salads. We've been putting it on our burgers. Things like that. So unless you're planning on doing a lot with it, know your limits, basically. I mean, it's a beautiful variety of rocket arugula, and it's doing great. Let's see if we can get these things to grow as well. I water this particular section quite a bit because lettuces are mostly made up of water. So we'll see. All right. Well, that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing with that romaine lettuce, planting it, why I was planting it the way I was planting it. We'll do an update video on the greenhouse tour in a little while. I've got some dill here. I'll be showing you guys how to harvest that soon as well. But I just wanted to show you in particular why it's important to look out for the signs of what your plants are doing, no matter what type of rooting or planting you're trying to do. So it's always important to pay attention to the signs that your plants are telling you what they need, whether it be water or sunlight, or just finally time to be planted. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys like this video, make sure you share it out, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell and subscribe for some of that content to come. And as always, guys, I hope you guys are staying safe and enjoying your gardens.